Friends, another edition of SaaSForward, where we look at events that are relevant to SaaS founders. To begin with, another value SaaS blockbuster. This is Expensify, a startup that many of us might have used to file our own expenses. Now, as one investor observed, that one of the benefits of being capital efficiency is that you can be outrageously generous to your employee. So it turns out that in its entire history, Expensify had only raised $32 million to build a business worth about $2.6 billion. And if many of these recently public going SaaS companies are any indicator, these companies grow further at least 5x after they have gone public. As one of the employees at Expensify said, I might just hold on to it. They were able to award more than 10% stock grant because they had that much amount of equity to give in their cap table because of the capital efficiency that they had. Now, if you look at Expensify and a few more, this year, as we've spoken before, has been a blockbuster of a year when it comes to SaaS and IPOs. This year, the tally adds up to about 41. In the same week, what also happened was there was a SaaS founder who shared that a company went public, but the founder was not included in the IPO. The management forgot to invite the founder into the IPO. So I don't think it is anymore a question of whether in the space there will be IPO, whether venture funded companies will go IPO, whether any type of software company will go IPO. The question is whether your company will go IPO and whether you as a founder will get to participate in that IPO. And he shared in a series of tweet thread that he had started out as a YC founder and then they were growing really well. But after some time, after a large fundraise, some other investors took over the company and then they further grew it along, but then the founders was left out. What was great is the YC partner wrote in a very raving kind of a way about the founder, but the founder being kept out of the IPO, that did not feel nice. Another key takeaway from the last week news, at least I would say, is as a SaaS founder, are you able to retain control? And that is why thinking about value SaaS being capital efficient, therefore being control of the business that you build is very, very important. In a different kind of a news, what is happening is across the world where so many companies are going public and many people are realizing that the growth that is happening is really happening after many of these companies are going public, whether it is Facebook, whether it is Shopify, or any other recent SaaS companies that had gone IPO in the last 3 to 5 years, they are growing at least 5x. So this is forcing many venture investors to think of themselves more like a hedge fund. They're saying, why should we be asked to exit after we have helped a company go IPO and not continue to participate in that growth? And this is one of the reasons Sequoia is fundamentally rethinking about how they should be structured as a business. And though it has been one of the most successful venture firm, they're now thinking more like a hedge fund where they would like to hold more of equity, have more percentage of the portfolio in public companies. So that's another big news that may affect how companies are funded and how companies are supported. And finally, the third piece of news is RBI is back again in a way that it has impact for the SaaS founder. RBI shared out notification on how they would like to look at how companies get incorporated, especially foreign companies, and how Indian citizens can own equity in foreign companies. So earlier there was this way of incorporating a global company, especially when you're an Indian citizen. It is bringing in some restriction in terms of how gifting of shares can happen. So this is going to definitely have impact on all companies that are trying to incorporate at a global level because they have a global market. Most of the SaaS companies, they realize that the market is global. So over a period of time, they realize that they have to be globally incorporated. They incorporate in the US even if they are Indian citizen. But thanks to this notification, which is yet to become a guideline or a real law that RBI is going to mandate, this notification creates certainly some more friction for how global SaaS companies will get created and impact. Many founders don't realize how it may impact them. However, we've spoken about at least a dozen different law firm or advisors who understands these regulations really deeply. And they're all of the view that if this initial notification that was sent out for comments, if that becomes a guideline, then there is more friction on how global companies can be incorporated by Indian citizens.